Hey guys, so we got the information, the full information for the upcoming LR Bobbity and Majin Buu, which is going to be a new Prime Battle LR on JP, as well as for the unit super attack Pycon and transforming Janemba, which are going to be the dual Dokkan Fest New Year's units coming up, I believe, in about 2 days from now, maybe in a day. No, probably 2 days, because tomorrow we should get the data download, obviously on JP, and then we will get the new units actually released in the day after that. So 2 days from now, I'm recording this video at 2 a.m. on the 24th of December, and those guys should be coming out like literally Christmas night for most people. So yeah, here we go. Let's go ahead and take a look at the LR first. So LR Bobbity and Majin Buu good. Their leader skill is Majin Buu Saga category key plus 4 HP attack and defense plus 130%, which is actually pretty good. The Majin Buu Saga was heavily buffed during the Worldwide Download Celebration, plus we got all those Dokkan Fests leading up to it. You know, transforming Gotenks, we got Exchange Buu, we got the Super Vegeta, we got Buu Tanks, we got the LR Angel Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, Attack Ultimate Gohan. There's so many really good Majin Buu Saga category units in the game at this point. So, you know, that category leader is actually very good. 4 key, there's a lot of LRs on there at this point, so a lot of them don't link up super well. Like, if you want to link up like Buu Tanks to somebody like Attack Ultimate Gohan, obviously it's not going to work out very well with links, but, you know, with the 4 key leader skill, maybe something like that will be more possible. So the super attacks are the 12 key causes colossal damage with a medium chance to steal super attacks and medium chance to stun. The 18 key is causes mega colossal damage with a medium chance to steal super attacks and a medium chance to stun. So it's the same effects on both super attacks. One is just obviously stronger because it's mega colossal, while the other one is just colossal. And then the passive is Ki plus 3 and attack and defense plus 40,000. Obviously they're still going with the flat boosts to the Prime Battle units, which is, I feel like, a big misconception that people have is when they instantly see the flat boosts, people are automatically turned off because obviously it scales a lot less with the leader skills that we have, or a lot worse with the leader skills that we have. And it just, there's a stigma associated with the flat boosts, but when you get to these numbers that are like massive like these, like 40,000 and 30,000, and you can add them on top of each other, then all of a sudden you're talking about a very powerful unit. And that's what we've seen, you know, ever since the LR STR Broly came out. They gave him such a large number in his passive that although it is a flat boost, he's still able to compete in terms of damage with a lot of recent units that have come out. You know, starting obviously to fall off a little bit because he's a little bit old, but it's still, you know, this unit is not going to be bad just because of the flat boost, right? Alright, so again, Ki plus 3, attack and defense plus 40,000, that's just at the start of the turn. Then he gains an additional Ki plus 3 and attack and defense plus 30,000 if attacking an enemy who is in the attack down, defense down, stunned, or sealed status. Now thankfully, that is not and. It's any of those things, right? So that's obviously very good. Then he performs an additional attack that has a medium chance to become a super attack and recovers 5% HP at the end of a turn in which attack is received. So we sort of get like the AGL Metal Cooler effect at the end there. And the fact that he does perform an additional attack is actually very good, considering he's a physical unit, which means he's going to inherently have more additional in the potential system. Because if you guys weren't aware, those hidden potential system additional attacks can actually activate and trigger from, you know, additional attacks in the passive ability. And that's why we see like units like Physical Vegeta Blue or the AGL Evolution Blue Vegeta have such ease in activating their hidden potential additional attacks. So that's a very good, a good section of this guy's passive and a good design, I think, that they put in for this unit. And a medium chance to become a super attack, I believe, is that the same chance that like STR Transform Cooler has? It might be. Links are Master of Magic, Thirst for Conquest, Brutal Beatdown, Nightmare, Fear and Faith, Shining Limit, Legendary Power, so actually that's not bad. Linking up pretty decently well with a lot of the other Majin Buu units, although I don't know how many of them actually have like Nightmare and stuff. Brutal Beatdown, I know Kid Buus have that, Thirst for Conquest. Actually, Thirst for Conquest is a little bit of an oddball one because I think that stems from Bobbity specifically being in this card. None of the other Buu units are going to have that. Not many are going to have Master of Magic, that's more of a Fat Buu one. But, you know, it is what it is. And then the categories obviously are Majin Buu Saga, Joint Forces, Terrifying Conquerors, and Inhuman Deeds. So that was Majin Buu. Let's go ahead and move on to Janemba. So the first thing to note about Janemba is he is a Extreme Tech unit. Finally, we get some buffs to Extreme Tech. They desperately need it for their, you know, Extreme through Battle Road being obviously the hardest one right now. So here he is. He leads a new category, Mind and Body Erosion is what I went with. Category Ki plus 3, HP attack and defense plus 170%, or Extreme Class Ki plus 3, HP attack and defense plus 100%. So this is actually a very powerful leader skill, right? I feel like this is going to be a very, very limited category, which is why they ended up going with such a expansive secondary leader skill here. So you can literally throw in any extreme unit onto this guy's team, and they're going to wind up being usable because of this. That's you know, reminiscent of when they released the AGL active skill transforming Zamasu. And although he's a Realm of Gods leader, which is obviously a lot better than I expect this category to be, because I don't know who would even be on here, to be honest. Maybe like Boo units would be on here, Bio Broly. I have a hard time thinking of anybody else that would be on here. Super attack is the Illusion Smash. Now keep in mind this is pre-transformed Janemba, so the fat Janemba. Raises defense for 1 turn and causes immense damage. And the passive is attack and defense plus 120%. Guard activated against all attacks. Extreme class allies keep +2 and attack and defense plus 30% if 4 or more type key spheres are obtained. So this is actually very similar to how the Angel Cell works on JP, because I believe the AGL Angel Cell also has some, I think he gives key to the rotation if he obtains a certain amount of rainbow key spheres. This is taking a page out of that book because he's only granting this support type ability to all allies if he obtains 4 or more type key spheres. So I like the design. I think them trying and experimenting with those other units before bringing them to, you know, Dokkan Fest exclusives or more big ticket units, I think is a good thing, and I'm glad to see them take a risk with this. And then the last part is damage reduced by 30% if 2 or more rainbow key spheres are obtained. I really do like this guy's design. I think they did a good job with this. Active skill is transformation, obviously, and then the conditions are able to be activated once 5 attacks have been received. So that's very similar to how LR Jiren works. You can sort of base how often you're going to see that off of how often you see LR Jiren's active skill. So, you know, maybe like every 3 or 4 turns or so you'll see that. And if you get lucky, you can see it turn 3, or even turn, yeah, I guess turn 3 would be the earliest you can see that. Links are the Innocence, More Than Meets the Eye, Metamorphosis, Master of Magic, Nightmare, Big Bad Bosses, and Fierce Battle. And the categories are Mind and Body Erosion and Movie Bosses and Transformation Boost. Now, just before we move on to the Transform version, I just want to say that this guy's going to basically take no damage at all. As long as you get 2 or more Rainbow Key Spheres, which is not that difficult to do, I feel like. And even if you don't get 2 or more Rainbow Key Spheres, you're usually, in most cases, either going to get this activated or this Extreme Class Support portion activated. It's usually going to be one or the other. More often than not, you're not going to get both of them activated at the same time, although that would be like a crazy turn. But I feel like if you have the 2 Rainbow Key Spheres obtained, he's going to have 30% damage reduction, guard, and 120% defense. He's not taking damage because he also has Big Bad Bosses. So this guy's basically going to be immune to taking any sorts of damage while he's untransformed, right? So there is merit in actually leaving him untransformed as opposed to transforming him, as we'll see in a second. So once he transforms, he gets the super attack, attack and defense plus, or sorry, raises attack and defense for 1 turn and causes immense damage. So instead of just raising defense, he also now raises attack down here. The passive is attack and defense plus 180%. Randomly changes 1 type of key sphere into either one other type of key sphere or rainbow. And the reason why this is a new sort of wording that I use for this is because I want to make sure you guys understand what I'm saying. So randomly changes 1 type of key sphere, so, you know, STR, AGL, physical, whatever the type is, into either one other type of key sphere. So all those, you know, let's just say STR. So he changes STR key spheres into one other random type, and they're all going to be the same type, or they all turn into rainbow. That's how that's working. So that is, I guess, sort of a new mechanic, but I do like it. Then he gains an additional attack plus 40% when collecting 3 or more type key spheres, so not rainbows, and then a high chance to evade enemy attacks when collecting a rainbow key sphere. So keep in mind, he does actually end up losing the guard against all attacks, which I think is fine. I think a lot of people are going to be upset about that, but for me, I don't really have a problem with that because that is going to incentivize you to keep him, well, it's going to give you a reason, right? A reason to actually keep him untransformed. So if you want the guard, and you feel that the guard is going to benefit you more than, you know, whatever he's doing when he's transformed. So obviously, him being transformed, you're going to get way more attack when he's transformed. But if you're more into, you know, being more defensive and you would rather have him be untransformed, that's your prerogative because you can decide whether or not you want to transform him based on the active skill. So that's what that is right there. And then in terms of the links that he loses or gains when he transforms, he loses the Innocence, More Than Meets the Eye, and Master of Magic for Shocking Speed, Brutal Beatdown, and Fear and Faith. So there's Janemba, a pretty sizable buff for extreme tech, so that's good to see. And now finally we come to Pycon, who actually turned out to be a pretty interesting unit in my opinion. So this is Pycon. He actually leads another new category called Connected Aspirations. Again, one of these subjective categories that we're not going to really understand what's in there until we see the list. But he also does lead Superclass, you know, pretty much the antithesis of what this Janemba does for Extreme, which is going to tell me that this is also going to be a very, very small category. But that's fine because the leader skill is also just, you know, including Superclass, which is like 80% of the game or something. So Super attack is the Burning Shot. Greatly raises attack for 1 turn. Oh yeah, by the way, I also think the reason why they did this is because this would make him sell better. Greatly raises attack for 1 turn and causes immense damage, and greatly lowers attack. So greatly lowering attack is very, very good. No defense in here at all, but I mean, greatly raising attack and greatly lowering attack in the same super attack mechanic is pretty damn good. All right, so the unit super attack, the effect that it has is it's basically the same thing as the super attack, except it also adds effective against all effective against all types. I should have changed the wording. I made a typo there. Effective against all types for the unit super attack, which makes sense because obviously it's with Gogeta. So I think when you compare this unit super attack effect to something like the Super Saiyan 2 Angel Vegeta LR, this is obviously way more impactful than that because the Vegeta one barely changes. Whereas this one, you know, effective against all types is pretty damn good. Then the unit super attack condition, so you're able to activate this if a character whose name includes Goku Angel or Vegeta Angel is attacking in the same turn. So it is, you know, Angel at either one of those. So, you know, STR Vegito worked with this because the Vegeta is an Angel Vegeta. The physical Year 3 LR, Goku and Vegeta that fuse into Gogeta works because they're both Goku Angel and Vegeta Angel. There's a free-to-play Angel Vegeta that you can get from the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta story event, or sorry, Dokkan event, but obviously he's not really preferred because he's not great. There's a free-to-play Goku you can get. I think it's the, which one is it? From the Majin Buu story event, the one you can get with chocolate. That's fairly new on Global. So he's available. There's a bunch of options you can use for these, which is, I think, pretty good. Obviously with Vegeta, you can also use the LR one that just came out. So. And then the passive is attack and defense plus 150%, superclass allies key plus 2, and attack and defense plus 30% when collecting 3 or more type key spheres. So that's a similar thing to what Janemba had. I think Janemba was 4. Yeah, so Pycon's was 3, Janemba was 4. 3 or more type key spheres is really not that hard to do. Really not. So I would assume you're going to activate this like 80 to 90% of the time. And then he gains an additional key plus 4. And a high chance to evade enemy attacks and seal the attacked enemy super attack when collecting a rainbow key sphere. So this whole portion after the semicolon right here is dependent on you obtaining 1 rainbow key sphere. And I think the condition is not that bad. I mean, if you combine both of these conditions together, so 3 or more type key spheres as well as a rainbow key sphere, I think you're going to be able to activate both these at the same time very often. So essentially, he's going to have 6 extra ki, which is great because his links are Pycon links. You're going to give the whole rotation 30% attack and defense, and you're going to have a high chance to evade, and you're going to seal. So that's pretty damn good, right, if you can get that all active. And then the active skill. He also has an active skill. I didn't realize he would. The conditions are able to be used after 4 turns from the start of battle, and there is 1 enemy whose HP is 50% or higher. The ability is skips 1 targeted enemy's attacking turn. So it's literally just a Ghost Usher for 1 enemy. Look, this is probably one of the more powerful active skills in the game. If you can get this off against, like, you know, in Super Battle Road, if you're fighting that 1 enemy stage at the end where the enemy has like 20 million health or whatever it is, like if you activate this, you pretty much just win. This is really useful, I feel like, in events where enemies are immune to being stunned, because this is sort of like a more powerful stun, right? Instead of stunning the enemy, you're just skipping their turn. So again, to me, it feels like a Ghost Usher that's just targeting 1 enemy specifically. So now this is interesting because we can see this mechanic sort of, you know, get implemented in other ways as well. What if there's an enemy who's just able to Ghost Usher the enemy, or a unit that's able to Ghost Usher the enemy's turn, just like flat out, like the whole enemy turn? I don't know. I feel like this can go places for sure. And then the links are Supreme Warrior, Gentleman, Experienced Fighter, Shocking Speed, Cold Judgment, Otherworld Warrior, Fierce Battle, and then categories are Connected Aspirations, Movie Heroes, Worthy Rivals, Otherworld Warriors, Saviors, and Battle of Wits. So that is Pycon. I think in terms of design, they actually did a very good job designing Pycon as well as Janemba. I am a big fan of how they design these units, and then also Buu, I feel like is pretty well designed as well, but more conventional in terms of his passive here. So you guys can let me know down below what you think of all these units that we talked about here. Me personally, I think I do like Janemba the best here. I think Pycon, I do like the design a lot of how they did Pycon, but for me, I think the choice of being able to either stay untransformed or go to the transformed version, and you know, having pros and cons for both of them, I think is really good. I think that in itself is good design too. So that's all we have for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, let me know down below what you think, and I will see you all in the next one.